Hamilton has impressed us all with his strategy, stuck to his game plan, and now here he is getting ready to battle for the win at Daytona.
Got a side-by-side battle for the lead. Whoa, whoa,
Problems early on. Chad Chaffin gets spun around and upside down. Chaffin back onto his wheels, and we were on board with Dennis Setzer.
Dennis made some contact. Looks like he was trying to bump draft him, and he got Chad turned around. There's Terry Cook after such a great effort. He was involved in that action a little bit. Another wild ride for Chad Chaffin, though, much like Rick Crawford's earlier today.
Look who's leading.
Jimmy Spencer comes by, takes the lead at the start-finish line.
Now, he came across the start-finish line. We're not sure if he was scored when that caution came out as the leader. We'll find out. NASCAR will put them in order.
Yeah, there are 18 loops around this racetrack. When the caution comes out, you're frozen right there. NASCAR goes back and looks at where you were on the, at the loops. Look at Chad. He's got less damage than Rick Crawford had when he turned over.
How far did he turn over?
When he went out of view, he was way up in the air.
And it was pointed towards the ground.
See, he's got a left front tire rub right there.
Left. It looks like the left on TV. Get the guidance on the left sides first, guys. Just left and get the clearance on the left front tire.
Let's take a look.
Let's see what happened. Looks like bump drafting might be. Yeah, Dennis gave him a little shot. Wow.
Wow, completely over. Here goes Terry. Boy, Terry had a wild ride through the grass. He was fortunate that his truck stayed down. You see the roof flap just deploy.
The white flag is out.
They're going to
Sauter
crash.
with a big run. They're crashing. Christopher Bell upside down.
That hurts, and that thing landed about 6 or 8 times pretty hard.
What about Brandon Brown? He slides through there. Looks like he's going to be credited with a 4th place finish.
I think he might have got in the back of William Byron, and that's what got in the back of the 4 of Christopher Bell and turned him sideways.
Christopher Bell, believe it or not, walked away from it, climbed out under his own power, walked away. In front.
Johnny
Sauter inside. It's 3 wide.
Making that hole.
Forced his way to the middle.
Middle of 3. You're middle of 3. Come on, 13. You got a guy coming to you. Not over. Keep digging.
They're crashing. Rhodes into
Keep
Crafton.
digging. Damn.
Crafton up and over.
And Kaz Gralla looks to me like will win this race.
Huge crash at the end on the final lap. And Kaz Gralla, the youngest driver in the field, the youngest driver to win a pole award in NASCAR's Touring Series history.
We'll have to wait and see NASCAR, but he sure looked like he was the one that emerged with a lead.
The first across the finish line under the checkers and the yellow flag.
Austin Wayne Self trailed Gralla across the start-finish line. That team's confident about what they've accomplished. We'll get the official moment of caution from NASCAR.
Amazing job, regardless, for Jerry Baxter, Kaz Gralla, and that GMS team.
Well, and Gralla dropped back to the back part of the top 5 on that restart, but patiently stayed in line, was off the track down in turn 3, was able to keep his truck headed straight.
Good to see Matt Crafton out of the vehicle.
Vince, you're right. Great to see him out. It was a heck of a ride for Matt.
No surprise to me that exiting the corners when the trouble happened. It just was a very aggressive push.
Yeah, it looked like Grant Enfinger was trying to help. Ooh, look at Matt Crafton up and over.
There's Johnny Sauter up in the middle of the mess. Grant Enfinger was pushing right there when the track flattens out.
Yeah.
Around goes the 27, catches Crafton, who thought he was home free.
Exactly in that spot where you said you didn't want to be pushed, where the track changes a little bit of that elevation.
It's nearly impossible to do it cleanly, and this is just way too much right here. Enfinger would have been much better off just to tap his partner, tap his buddy past Crafton, but he got too aggressive. It's the last lap, you understand that. But look at the impact by Timothy Peters. And look at Gralla just sneaking through that hole.
Right through the middle. And how about Austin Wayne Self right behind him? Chase Briscoe as well as Crafton goes up and over. Wow.
30-some hundred pounds of race vehicle just floating around like a feather. That tells you how fast these guys are going and how crazy things get at the end. He's still not on the ground.
Watch it all from the 24 of Scott Lagasse.
Leap, bump it, stack it, stack it, stack it. Keep rolling outside, bottom three, close the door on the bottom. Get down, get down. Truck, watch it spin, keep rolling, watch it spin, get through it.
How crazy was that view of Crafton over there? We're gonna see that again. Now look, he comes out.
Work back all the way back. Still three with help. Still three with help. Reckon. Hang on to
Timothy
it there.
never even had time to back off, guys.
Now from Christopher Bell.
Three mid. Easy, come middle. Keep coming middle. Keep coming middle.
That looks straight out of the movies.
Yeah,
I mean, you couldn't believe that truck could fly over like that.
Just amazing pictures.
Awesome camera work, guys. This is beautiful. I mean, it's terrible, but
Yes.
it's
Scott Lagasse. Watch Matt
Look at
Crafton
that.
over there. Completely up in the air.
Unbelievable. So thankful that everybody's okay.
we saw Crafton in that truck, the yellow 88, walk away from this mess.
Look at it land on the 21 of Johnny Sauter.
Scott Lagasse.
There's Myatt Snyder, the 51.
You see Lagasse, he's one of the first trucks to clear, so he's going to get a decent finish out of this.
Worse, Joey, you know that any vibration when you're in a pack like this, especially when you're a rookie. Oh, there it goes.
In the middle.
Oh, no. Lost
Oh,
away
no.
himself and upside down is the 45 of Majeski.
Let's hope he gets back on his tires here.
That thing's square on the roof. What a shame.
Ty Majeski and his truck comes to a stop.
You just know with all that movement, bouncing back and forth, side to side, trying to side draft, one guy zigs, the other one zags, and you have a mess. In back of the
That's Fogelman in the 0-2, wasn't it?
2, yeah, and then, man, Majeski just turned sideways down the front, and it just tipped right over. NASCAR does so much work in the wind tunnel to have flaps, air flaps, different panels on the truck that blow away that is supposed to prevent that, but probably just one of those circumstances that put him in a real jeopardy.
Yeah, and you know, bumping through the tri-oval here is the sketchiest place to do it. And you see that big set that you saw that white truck make right there. He needed room to save it. And you try to do everything you can to not run into other cars. You try to do everything you can to keep your truck going straight. And unfortunately, wrong place at the wrong time for Ty.
9 trucks involved. Let's ride along with the 16 of Austin Hill and see his perspective.
That's the best perspective to have of a wreck, Vince.
Yeah,
You're going to wreck behind you. They're wrecking big time. Keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling. All right, cautions out, back it down. Roll out easy.
There's the push. Push in the trial was just not the ideal place this time of the race especially, but it's hard to make it work through there, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's just not the spot to do it. And these are some of the mistakes that will be made throughout this race. As these drivers have more and more experience, they realize, hey, don't touch each other going through that tri-oval. It is a decent turn, and it doesn't have the banking that turns 1, 2, 3, and 4 have. It's quite a bit flatter, so the car's not compressed into the racetrack, loaded like you really want it to. It's an uneasy feeling, especially when someone's tagging you in the back bumper. Although he didn't do it in a malicious way, he was doing it trying to move his lane forward and trying to, ultimately gain some stage points. But unfortunately, some cars are more stable in those spots than others, and some lessons learned the hard way here.
Yeah, really hard for Ty Majeski. Todd Gillen will go on to race, but learn a valuable lesson. A couple of guys made some amazing moves to get low on the racetrack and miss this mess. How about those beautiful pictures from our Fox Sports cameramen, women, just doing an amazing job showing the folks at home the violence of this big flip and slide down the front straightaway.